several feasts. Now the Christians and the Muslims are celebrating and have several events. We are celebrating the Resurrection Day, the Easter. We're celebrating also, we are in the holy month of Ramadan, and it happened that last Friday was the Great Friday, and both Muslims and Christians were fasting. And actually they were invited to the houses of each other, and they broke their iftar or fasting, and they had iftar with each other. This picture that we have in Egypt of the national unity and the coordination and the volunteering work between all Egyptians, whether Muslims or Christians, the neighbors helping each other in order to help the poor people and provide them with meals during the feasts. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us today our dear guest, Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, Minister Commercial. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Blessed Ramadan and happy Eid to us all.
Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you and happy Ramadan to you and to your family.
Thank you.
Now, Your Excellency, what did you see? Tell us about the picture that we have seen during the holy month of Ramadan and during the Christian feast and the Feast of Resurrection, and the coordination that we felt from our neighbors and the Christians buying the lanterns to celebrate Ramadan with the Muslims. Tell us about this picture, which we may not see it in any other country, only in Egypt.
It is only in Egypt.
Yes.
What a coincidence when you see that Muslims and Christians are fasting at the same time, and Christians are enjoying the blessed month of Ramadan, and they are participating and cooperating with their Muslim brothers and sisters,
Yes.
and with bringing lanterns and putting it in front of their houses, the Christians' houses,
Yes.
and also inviting them. They are invited to the iftar parties, and when the Muslims go to the Patriarchate to celebrate or to congratulate the Pontiff Baba Pope Tawadros at the time of prayer, he prepares it a place for them to pray, and they pray inside the mosque.
Yes.
This gives you it is an interwoven relationship between
Yes.
Muslims and Christians in Egypt. I will say they are Egyptians,
Yes.
regardless of the religion. If it comes to religion, we find they are the same, two faces of the same golden coin.
Yes.
It is as simple as that,
Because,
and as valuable as that.
Yes, because we all have the same ethics and the same traditions.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we celebrate it. It is spontaneous from the people. It is not organized by any organization or established or company or anything like that. The people themselves
Yes.
do it together.
Yes.
And when you have seen what happened in Mataria, for example, which you were speaking about at Al-Aqad Street,
Yes.
and these people,
Thousands have participated in organizing this iftar.
Yes.
And they had their iftar and they put long tables, a large number of tables, and they had their iftar with each other, Muslims and Christians.
they prepared the meals in their homes.
Yes.
And they invited the street or the area,
Yes.
rather the area, not only the Muslims, but this is very important, the inhabitants of this place were there in this iftar. And it was homemade, most of it are homemade, and some of it was brokered supplied by some catering houses. But what is important is that it is spontaneous, and the people has done it on their own, and now it is repeated in other parts of Egypt.
Yes.
After what they have seen in El Mataria,
Yes.
I am very pleased that it is in El Mataria,
Yes.
because I have seen in Mataria for some time, and I've seen Virgin Mary tree.
Yes.
Virgin Mary's tree.
We have
Yes.
monuments in Mataria.
Yes.
This is one of the places that encompasses some monuments and
Historical place.
Yes, it's a historical place.
place.
Yes, yes,
And the
where
people there-
ancient Egyptians used to live. Okay,
The people
like
there-
the Upper Egypt place also.
Yes.
Yes.
What you have seen in Mataria, because Mataria is an old place.
Yes.
Old, historically, from the time of the pharaohs, this area was inhabited
So
and
this is
populated.
the real Egyptians.
Yes, this
Yes.
is real Egyptian. There is an obelisk in Al Matariya.
Yes.
The Virgin Mary
Tree.
trees there in Matariya.
Yes.
And even the people of today, they have this background in their bones, not
Yes.
only in their blood. This is a part of their entity. They are Egyptians. And when I say Egyptians, it is regardless of the history or the religion or any or social standard or anything like that. They are Egyptians putting their hands together to do something which we, all the Egyptians, have seen and enjoyed
Yes.
and celebrated it. What you have seen in Matariya was coped in other places of
Places,
Egypt,
yes, in
and
governorates, other
they copied
governorates.
it, and we have seen it several places.
Yes,
in Egypt.
Your Excellency Ambassador Ayoub, also this is the 9th consecutive year that the Matariya people make this
The ninth.
iftar. The 9th
In
consecutive,
a row.
yes,
9
in a row.
years in a
yes.
row they are doing it, but this year it was bigger
Yes,
and attract a lot of attention.
Yes.
And even the ambassador of South Korea has been there and he was welcomed
yes,
as a guest of honor, and many dignitaries have been there, and all the who have seen it in the TV were pleased to show the solidarity between Egyptians at all times,
Yes.
not only in Ramadan, but all the year round. And when it is things and situation is very difficult, you see the solidarity well explained and well expressed
Yes.
by the ordinary people.
yes.
of
Although it
Egypt.
was organized by civilians, of course, but it was very well organized.
Because it was planned. As you rightly mentioned, now it is the 9th year in a row.
Yeah.
So they gained the experience in organization, in seating, in catering, in cleaning the place, and in what will be eaten, and the people who are invited. It is a whole families went with their kids, with their children, went to the. When you see that all the area and their guests from other places they were there at the same time. So the solidarity and the unity of the people at times of Ramadan is quite phenomenal. I have been in Syria, in Somalia, and Arab countries. I served. I have been in Australia and China and India, and I have seen, and in Switzerland. But what I have seen, what I see in Ramadan in Egypt is phenomenal.
Yes.
I say that because I can compare.
Yes.
I can compare because I have lived Ramadan,
Yeah.
4 Ramadans in
Yes.
China, and 4 Ramadans in India.
Yes.
And I'm
A
quite
large
familiar.
number of tourists also come to Egypt during the month of Ramadan. They enjoyed being here. Also, the Arab
Many
countries,
Muslims from Malaysia, from
from
Indonesia,
the Arab
from
countries,
Arab
of course. Yes.
come to Egypt, especially in Ramadan, to celebrate and to enjoy. Not only celebrate, but but also to celebrate and to enjoy the atmosphere or environment,
Yes.
which we enjoy in Ramadan. So they do not come in winter or summer to go to the Luxor and Aswan. They
Yes.
do, but mainly they come in Ramadan. The influx of tourists in Ramadan are mostly Muslims from Arab countries and the Islamic countries, from Morocco to Indonesia, and they come to celebrate and to enjoy the feelings and the emotions of the people in Ramadan, which is confined to Egypt. I have seen it in other countries, but when it comes to Egypt, it is, I can say that the Ramadans which I have passed, I have seen
Yes.
in Australia, for example, or China, I was longing to have Ramadan in Egypt.
Yes.
But I stayed there and enjoyed Ramadan there, but always the Ramadan in Egypt is phenomenal and nothing like
Yes.
it. I enjoyed it, and all the Muslims and who have been to Egypt, they come, and we invite them to come next Ramadan also
Yes.
to enjoy more.
Yes. Also, Ambassador Ayoub, Muslims and Christians cooperate with each other in order to provide the charity banquets for the people who are fasting, and provide food for people in the streets at the time of iftar. We can see.
Something very important is that in the month of Ramadan, the Christians consider it, they are a part and the parcel of this celebration.
Yes.
That is to say, they prepare meals and distribute it in some areas like Zahra and Fayoum
Everywhere,
and in Suhail
everywhere, yes.
and in slum areas. Something which I have seen some interact clubs have prepared 12,000 meals during the month of Ramadan and distributed it in slum areas
Yes.
of Batn al-Baqar and Al-Hijaz in Old Cairo. 12,000 during the month meals during
Yes.
the month of Ramadan in slum areas to the poorest of the poor. The boys and girls bought the materials wholesale and this is very important, cooked it at their homes
Yes.
and prepared it in a hygienic way
Yes.
and distributed to the families in the month of Ramadan. And the people, when they see that the new generation in Egypt, our youth are doing that on their own. Of course, there were financial contributions from business persons and from charity organizations and from Rotary clubs and so on. It was destined or focused on these slum areas in various parts of Egypt, not only in
Yes.
all the Cairo, but also in, we have seen it in Bahira, we have seen it in Sohag, and it is all over Egypt.
Yes.
This month, the charity character of the people crops up,
Yes.
and we see it in practice. That is to say, as a person told me when I was in one of these iftars, sir, we wait Ramadan every year so that we can eat meat all the month. That is to say, he has the poultry or chicken or meat or bovine meat. Maybe all the year round he cannot have access to it. The poorest of the poor, I speak about them. When you say we are waiting the month of Ramadan, so the charity people bring them
Yes.
these hygienic meals
Yes.
and good meals, and they
What
feel
would this,
satisfied.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Ayoub, what would this show of the Egyptian personality, whether Muslims or Christians, that despite the challenges that the whole world have passed through 2 years ago, that started with the coronavirus, then the economic crisis that the whole world also suffered from, still the Egyptian person or citizen is providing others, giving help and giving support and giving meals for the poor people.
What we have seen, regardless of the economic situation all over the world, not only in Egypt, by
Yes,
the way,
yes,
the people volunteered on their own to prepare the meals and deliver it hot meals, as I mentioned, the Rotaracles, and hot meals, they deliver it to slum areas in Old Cairo, in other places. This is just an example.
Yes.
I focused on this because I know the figures and the persons who have done it. And it's something which you are very pleased and proud of them.
Yes.
Proud of them because the new generation is volunteering and learning how to do it properly and completely and in a hygienic way. And they know how to fundraising for financing their projects. And they do it with the boys and girls, and they bring the money and buy with it. They don't buy delivery meals. No.
Yes.
They do it at their homes. So it gives it a special flavor.
Yes.
They are doing it at their own homes.
yes,
Let's say 70 or 60 or 75 homes are cooperating together to prepare the meals at the Mansour daily meals.
yes. Your Excellency, Ambassador Ayoub, also what we can all see, and it's very clear to everybody, that all the Egyptians are enjoying and having, there's a kind of positive energy because the feasts of the Egyptians, whether Muslims or Christians, are coming in the same time. They both are fasting, and both there are rituals that they are performing. So this positive energy that the people are enjoying. Yes.
This positive energy gives flesh to the bones of sustainable development, which you have seen in Egypt in the last years, in the last 6 or 7 years. People are cooperating in literacy, giving literacy to women. I am speaking about the NGOs are doing that. The NGOs are also cooperating together in helping people to find clean water and supplying them with clean water. Helping the mother and child, it is a whole area, it is a whole one of the 7 areas of focus which we have. They are also giving, this is very sustainable development for the economic enrichment of the community.
Yes.
This is very important. Something very important which we added is that they are taking care of the environment. This means that the awareness is higher than before.
Yes.
People are aware of the needs of the community as far as the environment itself is concerned. So this awareness is very important. I'm looking with trust and confidence to the near future when I see our new generation
Yes.
are putting their hands together in a positive way and in a pragmatic approach to the needs, real needs of the community. This makes me sure that tomorrow can be far better than today, inshallah, as far as the new generation is concerned, and when they are supported by the government.
That was going to be my next question concerning the generation, the new generation. With the parents and the elder people being a role model for their children and for the youth, what do we expect from the coming generation when they see the elder people, Muslims and Christians, hand in hand? There's a national unity between them, and they are helping each other, coordinating with each other, volunteering in order to help others.
Volunteering.
Yes.
When I see the boys and girls volunteering and showing how strong they can be when they work together, which is very important.
Yes.
Volunteerism needs many hands to put their effort in a certain and defined direction, and it brings concrete results which we have seen on the ground.
Yes.
What I have seen in Mataria, you mentioned now in Mataria,
Yes.
and when
The
I have
charity
seen
banquets.
in charity banquets, and in Fayoum, and in Sohag, in El Bahira, and in Alexandria, all over Egypt. We have
Yes.
seen it.
Yes.
And what is interesting is that it is mainly fueled by the youth. No, we are,
Yes.
the elder generation
Yes.
is there
Yes.
to support and bolster and advise.
But they were monitoring everything also.
They are monitoring, but and we are very pleased to see that they are doing it in a better way.
Yes.
In a better way, I don't want
Rather than
comparisons
in
sometimes.
comparison to the previous
Yes.
years.
In a better way, because they are using the modern technology
Yes.
in every aspect. This is something very important. They are doing it at a more economical cost, which is also a very important factor. They are doing it in their own way, which is more economical, pragmatic, and they focus on the most needy. Not every people, they don't all the family, they don't go to all the families living in the area, but they make a social survey first and see who needs more and focus on these people who are the most needy. This is something which is really interesting, and thanks to the modern technology, because the boys and girls make the social survey and they prepare it, and we help, we support, and give our advice. But they do the job. They are our soldiers in the battlefield, if we can call it a battlefield.
Yes. There's a call that people would continue the whole year as the same as they act during feasts and during the Easter and during the Resurrection Day and during the holy month of Ramadan, that which also it's not only helping the poor, but also, for example, the family gatherings. You know, this is very important, and The way the people used to be brought up in previous years here in Egypt, that the family should gather around the table and have
Yes, iftar
lunch
table.
with each other. This traditions, the people are very happy, and even the young generation are very happy with this. So now the call is, or the awareness is now spreading, that we continue the whole year with this
What
act.
we have seen in Ramadan,
Yes.
or the ninth Ramadan, if I call it the ninth Ramadan, should be a good example to raise awareness of the community as a whole. That they live better if they come together and put their hands together to do something beneficial to the community as a whole. When I see this successful mission of our youth, our new generation, and they did it successfully and at economical cost. Cost is very important, because why I say very important? Because when we cut the cost, this means that with the same amount of money we can cover a bigger number of people. That
Yes.
is a very important factor. So the new generation is doing it in a proper way, at cost effective, and they pinpoint who needs the support. What is important for me as a father or grandfather is that it should be repeated during the 12 months of the
Yes.
year.
Yes.
This is very important. So we need to raise awareness of what is needed in the community.
Yes.
What is needed today. Let us focus on priorities.
Yes.
Priorities are very important to be properly set. If we set properly our priorities, then we can succeed, and every day we are better than
Yes.
yesterday.
So what's the importance of volunteering and helping others in providing the person with peace of mind and peace of heart?
What happens
And
after?
the person feels that he is helpful for his society, and he is important to, because he's...
Something very important which you mentioned now. With
Yes.
that. When we help these families at the month of Ramadan, we are giving them hope. Not only food, but also we give them hope.
Yes.
And they love their community and their country in a better way. And they are changing from negative to positive. We change their attitudes. This is very important. We change the attitude of the people to be a positive attitude, to hoping that tomorrow will be far better than today.
Yes.
Thanks to the generation, and thanks to the iftar parties which we had in Ramadan, and hope it will be repeated all the year round. Not the iftar or lunch, but rather
Yes.
cooperating together to have a better standard of living.
Yes. Well, I thank you, Your Excellency. I thank you very much for coming today, and I really had the pleasure to host you today. Thank you so much, Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, former Minister of Commercial. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We really had a good conversation and a positive one.
Happy Eid to
Thank
you
you.
and to the viewers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following us in this segment. Please wait for more segments in The Breakfast Show.